Hello, welcome back to Shankar's channel. And today we are covering ECS with ALB using Terraform. So we have already covered ECS using cloud formation or the manual console itself. So if you are not aware what ECS service is and how we install it or enable ALB on top of ECS, then you can watch my videos uploaded earlier to this channel. But today we are doing the same using Terraform codes, and this is the different repository altogether. So earlier you must have seen the repository named Terraform single resource. This is for Terraform multi resources. So I have two um, folders here. So one is S3 and DynamoDB locking system. So I have already covered this up. If you have seen it, not if not, then go ahead and watch that video as well. Other than this, I already have saved some resources in the description of this video, and any video related to Terraform, we have the descriptions. Not related to Terraform specifically, but my every other video has description and has resources in the description as well. All right. So without wasting much of your time, let's start with ECS with ALB. Let's see what our main t.tf file says. So our main.tf file says we have the AWS region declared in the variables.tf. We'll cover that up. And we have the ECS cluster creating here. It's called demo cluster. It will be created with the name of demo cluster, and it will be if you have worked with ECS service, you must be aware of that. Without task definition, ECS cluster would not be of any use. So task definition is required to have some configurations picked up if as soon as the task is up, or maybe if you're referring the service, then yes, service will spin up the task based on the configuration defined in the task definition. Okay, so this is the demo task I have created in the as the resource task definition, and here I have defined container definitions, which container port and the host port it is listening to, and it is all declared in the variables.tf. We'll cover that up again. Like I said earlier. So this is the security group, and ingress is the inbound, or egress is the outbound one. Let's move on to the next one, ECS ALB. So it is covering the ALB, and just because I have put ECS because just to identify that it is created for the ECS. Although I don't have any resources created in the ALB, this is the ALB page, and we don't have any load balancers created so far, but this will create one for you. Okay, target group. So ALB works based on the registered target behind it. So if you have EC2 instances, then it will register the targets in the target group. So target group is this one, and you must have created it manually earlier, and this will be created using Terraform. Okay, listeners, again, which ALB it is, which target and which port it is listening to. So this is the configuration we define here, and I'll move on further. It says demo service. So this is the service I was talking about earlier. And since this ECS cluster is a type of Fargate, so when we say Fargate, that means serverless. It won't have any EC2 instances as such. If you configure ECS with EC2 as a launch type, then it will spin up EC2 machine. However, this is the Fargate. So ECS, when we talk about ECS service, we usually prefer to go with Fargate, right? So these are the network configuration and the load balancer configurations to attach it to the ECS. And now we'll move on to our next file called Terraform TF So this is the region I have already defined. VPC I already have it. It's for the same region. Subnet I only have the public subnets created because I'm using the personal account. So if you are trying to deploy the same in the enterprise level, make sure you have private subnets as well, and deploy your ECS in the private subnet under that same VPC, right? So nothing should be exposed publicly, and this is just to show you how it works as a part of demonstration video. So that's the reason I'm doing all of the things in the public subnet. So the cluster name is demo cluster, task family is demo task. I already have create resources created under main.tf. So this is in the main.tf resources are being referred from here only. Again, like I said earlier, tf vars file, if you have any values declared here, then it will overwrite or overtake any uh, keys declared on the variables.tf. We have a container image. So see, without having the web page, I would not be able to show you if it worked or not. So that's the reason I chose to pick Nginx, the popular web page, the base page to host the website, and it's getting the latest uh, image from the hub. And the container port, I have mapped it with the 80. Okay, so I don't have to put any port after colon or something like that after IP. I just hit the HTTP URL of the task, and it will show you the web page. So that's how it configured. It is not yet configured, but that's how it's going to configure the in Nginx. You can try Apache as well, Apache Tomcat, but we are going to use Nginx for now. And make sure you have the role created if you haven't created yet, or if you haven't, even if you haven't created, just make sure you define the role ARN here that is to be created. But I would prefer you create the role first and then define that ARN here, so that it will pick that IAM role to execute the ECS operations. Okay, and variables.tf, I don't have anything defined as a value. I just have the keys like variable cluster name. I must, you can also customize it, you can define it right here only, but I haven't. Just to make sure that tf vars is the main file, at least for me. You can customize this the way you want. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the black screen, git bash, and see what we have here. Let's initiate the Terraform here on in this within this directory. So it has been initialized. Let's see what it's going to create now. Terraform plan. So the Terraform plan, it will show you how many resources will it be provisioned and what all will be provisioned here. So since I have defined this default security group, so it's not changing anything if you have seen, because it's already whitelisted there. So it is already a part of the security group as in the inbound rule, and there's the reason says one unchanged attribute hidden. So these are the things or we already have whitelisted in the security group. If not, then it will show you what it's going to do next. Okay, since few of the configurations within security group we already have um, defined, because we did it in for my previous video, so I did not remove it. That's the reason it shows like this, but you can ignore this for now. You can have the setup from scratch. Okay, now let's go ahead and hit Terraform apply. I will not say yes, I'll say auto approve so that it can approve automatically. And let's see, oh, I missed to mention Terraform apply. Before I do that, I can scroll up for you just to show you what all will be created. Security group will be created, ECS service security group, ECS target group will be created, ECS listeners will be created as a part of ALB. ECS ALB will be created itself since we are going down to top. So that's the reason it's not following the sequence. So demo task, this is the task definition. See, it's getting the Linux image and mapping it to the port 80. So port mapping is very important topic of this ECS cluster. When in an interview, when you are asked about the port mapping, just make sure you define this and you say that port mapping, what the port mapping means. Okay, I already have few things not related to ECS but related to Terraform syntaxes. I already have a few commands and the few syntaxes in my description. You can download the resource and make the full utilization of it, just to have knowledge crisp and short, and that too in like 10 minutes. You don't have to waste your days to know what Terraform is. Okay, I'll say Terraform apply auto approve, and now it starts creating the services or the resources on the AWS. And since it might take some time, so I'll take a pause here and be back. All right, I'm back, and as you have seen so far, we deployed ECS cluster, ALB, and task definition on the related resources with ECS cluster. So you see the blank screen, it says creation complete and 7 resources have been added. So let's try to verify whether those are created really, or it just throw the message. Okay, so I have the cluster now, demo cluster. However, one task is still pending, so its task is still being spun up. So it's trying to activate it. We'll come back to this again, and let's move on to task definition. So we already have task definition here. So there's the revision that you can do. You can also manually update if you like to do so. However, the reason I clicked uh, create revision, because just to show you, when you do it manually, you define the image URI here. So if you are using any Docker build or Docker image and then you push it to ECR, so you define the ECR URI image URI here, and then you can map it with the port, with the host port. This is the container port. So like it says, add port mappings to allow the container to access ports on the host to receive or send traffic. Okay, so if you leave it blank, then default will be assigned, but we have configured 80 towards it. Okay, so let's go back to ECS cluster and see if it is still pending. So one task is running. Oh, it's now active. So let me refresh this, and it's now running. I'll click this task and come here and open this task ID, and I have space because I am using personal account and the subnet is also public subnet. So that's the reason I have clicked public IP, and now it showed me the Nginx web page. So it is now ready to serve your website. Whatever configurations or application files you have, you can simply deploy it to ECR, and ECR image will be picked up by task definition, which will further be deployed to ECS cluster. Okay, but since we also created load balancer, so if you have the traffic uh, assigned, or you have some applications hit and bulk hit, then load balancer is very mandatory. So let's see what do we have in the target groups. We already have target groups page opened here. Let me go to this target group and see if there is any target defined here. So the target IP says ending with 23117, and what that is, this is nothing but the task private IP that it has provisioned for us. So basically not with the task public IP, but if I try the load balancer URL, let's see if it serves anything. So my load balancer DNS name, I'll say open this. So it is also serving the same page. So that means your front end is configured successfully to serve the page, and this is nothing but the load balancer is doing your work on behalf of ECS cluster. So it whenever user hits application, it first goes to ALB, and then since we have the task registered, and this task will be gone if any new tasks up spin gets up. So if you have any task new task spin up, then in the target group the IP will be changed, and then whatever IP we have under task, that would be registered by default here. So that is for the task because we are using Fargate. Else, if it would have been ECS with EC2 launch time, then EC2 instances will be registered here. So if I go in EC2 and say instance, I won't have anything because this is not the instance IP. This is a task IP. So that's how the serverless environment works. So you don't have any server created, but you have that IP because ECS with Fargate works on the IP as a register type method. Okay, IP method. So that's how it works. I'll quickly destroy it after I wind this up. But before that, I would like to show you. This is the playlist I have as a is the Terraform, and I'll upload this video. We already have everything in the description. So this playlist is description if you find it. This is called Terraform syntax guide. So if you're not aware how Terraform works, if you like to know the basics of it, you just go to this URL and download the syntaxes with the purpose and the explanation, as well as we have some examples in it. So it will be very useful for you. And if you find any individual video, let me click one of them. So my this video also have description in it. Let me show you. And I already have attached my GitHub repository here. So if you click this, it will open again the same repository. This because this is a public repository, so you can download it. You can clone the repository at your local and try to implement the same. If you like to connect with me, just to uh, have a chit chat on or have need help on any of these setup, I'm always there for you and try to help you. So after every video, I wipe off the resources just for the security purpose and billing purpose. And this is how I make videos. So please feel free to share it with your network as well. This helps me to make more videos like this because we have too many learners out there who like to get into this technology and tools, and even we have people who have no idea what to do next after your college, after you get into initial profile in the IT as well. So very useful for all of them. And my purpose is not to have the views, so forget about the views. My purpose to have everyone on same page if they are uh, they have guts and they have willingness to learn more. So see, this is the Terraform playlist I have. I do have more playlists, so keep watching Shankar's Feet on Cloud and enjoy learning. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.